On May the 4th, 2021, Disney, Lucasfilm, and Kathleen Kennedy released the newest show on Disney+, The Bad Batch, a Dave Filoni spin-off on the Clone Wars. With the show's release came a ton of excitement from the fandom. They were excited that Star Wars was back. Well, we haven't even gotten 3 episodes, and already Disney's managed to step in it again by bowing to the woke mob in the whitewashing controversy surrounding this new show. Now, before we even get started, I know there's some of you out there who are saying, but Mandalorian, Disney's Bad Batch is so good, it's not woke. And yeah, I'll agree with you, it isn't woke. But that's not what this video is about. This video is going to be a trip down memory lane, looking over the last quarter onto how possibly Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm could have something to do with Disney stock tanking over the last 4 months.
Cue the speeder.
And you just said that on camera. This going viral.
So here we are, May of 2021, and again Dave Filoni is stepping in to save the franchise from the grips of Kathleen Kennedy. It seems as though everybody and their mother is totally smitten with Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beginning to come around.
Yeah. Everyone seems to be coming around. Well, I'm not, Doug.
This woman is fucking our investors.
Disney stock over the last 4 months is on a slow and steady decline, down to numbers we haven't seen in years. Now, some of you might be saying to yourselves, how is that even possible? Look back in December. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy came out and they showed us Disney was into Star Wars again. Look at all the shows they were bringing us. Yeah, I don't get it. How is this possible? They even brought back Luke Skywalker in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. They made millions of man babies around the world cry when they got to see Luke Skywalker in his prime, the way we've always envisioned him. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. This makes no sense whatsoever. There must be some kind of mistake with the stock market. It can't be Lucasfilm, Disney, or Kathleen Kennedy's fault. All they've done is bring us everything we want. And here's where I'm going to make the argument that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the ones who are bringing us everything we want. Kathleen Kennedy has nothing to do with it. She may be the president and CEO of Lucasfilm, but she's done nothing to help the cause of bringing this fandom back together. Over the past 5 years, Kaiser Kennedy has consistently injected Star Wars with SJW woke bullshit. Whether she's pandering to the Twitter mob or this is on her own accord, she's to blame for what's going on right now with Disney and its stock. They invested $5 billion into Star Wars and they've driven it into the proverbial ground. Now let's start this trip down memory lane. And I would just like to start this by calling out Pedro Pascal for being a complete fraud. Back in 2018 when Trump was president, he decided to post this tweet about kids in cages. And as we now know, this photo marked America 2018. Misinformation is actually from Israel. This is not America, and those are not Latino kids. But this picture is 100% America, and those are Latino kids. Hundreds and thousands of them at the border in actual cages. And I haven't heard Pedro Pascal say shit about this situation. And on top of that, he had the nerve to compare these pictures. One of an actual concentration camp in Germany in 1944, and then a staged photo of kids in a cage that aren't even from this country. Oh yeah, and he also happened to have a tweet calling half of the country, over 75 million people, losers, and compared them to Confederates and Nazis. Probably a large majority of the stockholders of this company fit in that category. So good going, Pedro. And who is Pedro Pascal anyways to virtue signal about the struggle? He's a Hollywood actor who's been on screen for a total of 5 minutes in 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. He's not even in the suit 90% of the time. He's basically a paid voiceover actor. I say if he isn't coming back for season 3, good riddance. See you later. Tamora Morrison is 5 times the actor you are, Pedro. You fraud. So maybe you're asking, what does Pedro Pascal's tweet have to do with any of this? Well, let's compare it to the tweet that Gina Carano put out just a few months ago. The one that Disney and Lucasfilm fired her for. Now, in the eyes of, I would say, 95% of the population, Gina's tweet was pretty much to the point and made sense. So much so that we've had examples of what happened back in this time happening today in Canada. Overlords in British Columbia were suggesting that neighbors should call on their friends and family if they were deciding to congregate in groups. This taking place during a more stringent round of lockdowns. That sounds crazy, don't believe me? Gina's take on it was dead on. So we have two Disney Lucasfilm employees who happen to be friends who both go onto Twitter and tweet something about 1940s Germany. One happens to be fake and one turns out to be very real. And what happens? One of them gets fired and one doesn't. Okay, I went on a little bit of a tangent, so let's get back to the stock itself. How is this affecting it in a negative way? Well, let's go back to earlier this year when the investor phone call to CEO of the time, Bob Chapek, was made. And let's hear what one of the investors had to say about this.
Hi there. It's clear that there's a new blacklist punishing conservatives in the entertainment industry. Disney Plus actors Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano tweeted similar analogies of current political events to Nazi Germany. Yet only Carano, who is considered a conservative, was fired from The Mandalorian. Regarding Disney and a blacklist, this is the way?
Well, thank you for your question. I don't really see Disney as characterizing itself as left-leaning or right-leaning, yet instead standing for values that are universal, values of respect, values of decency, values of integrity, and values of inclusion. And we seek to have not only how we operate, but the content that we make reflective of the rich diversity of the world that we live in.
Let me just stop Bob right there for a second. Bob, you mean this kind of inclusion? Or perhaps Bob is referring to Christina Afropuff Ariel's version of inclusion. I'm not too sure, but I do know her High Republic show is killing it. I mean, look at these numbers they're pushing. 33,000 dislikes to 3.1. Well, okay, never mind that. What about the comments? The comments, Gina Carano quote, fire Kathleen Kennedy, fire Kathleen. Gina Carano quote, fire Kathleen Kennedy. Fire Kathleen, welcome the rebellion. Gina Carano. All right, never mind. Back to the video.
And I think that's a world that we all should live in harmony and peace. Thank you for your question. Next question, please.
To this day, I have not been able to figure out what was in Rose Tico's pants during the entirety of The Last Jedi. But whatever it was, Bob Chapek in that voice clip was shoveling a bunch of it. Whoever picked out her costume and did her hair in The Last Jedi should be banned forever from Hollywood. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy decided to come out and say the reason that they fired Gina Carano was because her social media posts were abhorrent and unacceptable. They degenerated people based on their cultural and religious beliefs. Disney and Lucasfilm fired Gina Carano for one reason and one reason only, and that's that she wouldn't bend the knee to their woke politics. She didn't feel it necessary to put pronouns in her bio. Plain and simple. This was the moment I believe Disney and Lucasfilm really effed themselves, with the help of Kathleen Kennedy. Gina was on her way to becoming the star of a new show by Jon Favreau called Rangers of the New Republic, and when that got canceled, people lost their minds, and investors began to lose hope in Disney. And that's why I believe Lucasfilm, Disney, and Kathleen Kennedy are directly responsible for what's going on right now with the stock price. They did not hit their numbers for new subscribers in Q1. Or did they just have so many cancellations that the new subscribers weren't enough to keep up? As I said in the outset of this video, we're not even 3 weeks into the Bad Batch, and already there's controversy swirling all around it as far as skin tone and race and wokeness and you name it. Until Disney, Lucasfilm, and Star Wars get together and get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, you can expect more of the same. A downward trend and lots of red. I hate pointing out all these negative points about Lucasfilm and Disney and Star Wars, so I'll try to leave you with something that maybe will put a smile on your face. No, not that.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. I'll never join you!
Do it!
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Don't do it!
Obi-Wan never
Do
told
it.
you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No. I am your father. It's not true. That's impossible. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
He's on the dark side now!
You can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
I think it was his dad.
Really? That's true?
I don't know about you, but to me, that look on Emma's face is what Star Wars used to be about. And until Lucasfilm, Disney, and Star Wars make a stand and get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, all we're going to see is the stock going down and the franchise slowly dying. Guys, if you enjoyed the content today, please do me a favor, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And as always, before I let you go, here's a little taste of what I call diversity. Spread love, people. It's the Boston way. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.